So life before Ian, we had been married about 9 years at the time. We lived in Nampa, Idaho, and we had two daughters, beautiful daughters, 4 years old and coming up on 2 years old. And we are very excited to be expecting a third one.
And so I was really hoping for a boy. And of course, we just wanted a boy and we wanted to be healthy.
So when we went in for our routine ultrasound at 20 weeks, the anatomy scan, it was very clear that there was something seriously wrong with his heart. And so we were told he has HLHS, hypoplastic left heart syndrome, and that his left ventricle didn't form. And it was operable. If we didn't do the surgeries, he wouldn't be able to survive.
I remember at one point the doctor kind of tearing up, and he kept saying, whatever decision you make is the right decision. I was so overwhelmed. And then when we got in the car and we started driving, I remember right away having to pull over because I was just like a mess. I was like bawling. I couldn't drive. And it was just that, it's just that overwhelming fear of not knowing,
So we knew we didn't have to discuss among ourselves what we were going to do because we knew we were going to let our son fight for his life. So Ian's first few months of life, he was born via C-section. He was born smiling. I mean, when they cleaned him up, they let Scott hold him, and I got this great picture of them smiling that the nurses took, and it was just, one of the most beautiful moments of my life. All of this anticipation with his birth, it was a burden knowing, carrying him for 4 months knowing that he had this serious condition, but then it was just so beautiful at his birth.
I would say the first few months of Ian's life were super rough on us. 2 huge open heart surgeries, all kinds of complications.
He had his first open heart surgery when he was 1 week old. And so unfortunately, he just got worse, and he kind of crashed a bit. And so then it was obvious he needed to have another surgery. So when they went in, when he was 3 weeks old, they did another open heart procedure, and then he did amazing. He recovered very well with the heart. And so I think it is scary, and we're not sugarcoating that the journey is easy, because it wasn't. But really, what kept us going through those hard times was the long view. We knew once he got through these 3 surgeries, come kindergarten, we'd have this awesome kid, and we did, it was a dream come true. So today, Ian's had his 4 open heart surgeries. He's doing amazing. He is pretty much like every other normal kid. he has cardiology appointments every 6 months, and he takes a few meds, but otherwise, he loves life. He plays soccer. He got an award in kindergarten called Principal's Pride. He's smart. He's funny. His smile is just contagious.
He's all boy. He loves dirt. He loves digging, playing. He plays all sports. He loves everything. He does everything hard, whether he's crying hard or he's laughing hard. Everything is like full throttle. And
he does, because of his heart. So he only has half a heart. He still only has half a heart. And so his condition, though, is self-limiting. So if he's doing a lot of running, he does, he kind of peters out and he needs a few minutes to catch his breath. But it's not, he might not ever be a collegiate athlete. But yeah, for the most part, we're just blessed. And he lived half a heart, full life. He has a very full life. So part of the reason I wanted to share our story was because I recently read an article in our local newspaper about a woman who, with her husband, had received the diagnosis of half a heart, and they loved their son just like us, and they didn't want him to suffer just like us, and they named him Sebastian just like us. But the article went on to say that they chose a late-term abortion, and my heart just broke for them, because I see my son with his $1,000 smile, and I just think of what they're missing. And I just wish when she had received that diagnosis, she could have maybe seen a story like ours and thought, wow, his scars give me hope. And I think God has a beautiful story he could have written in their son Sebastian, like what he's writing in our son Sebastian. And so I hope that people are encouraged by this message that it's maybe not what you planned, but it's a great, it can be a great life.